Oh. 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 Sairam. Just to recollect what we discussed last week, Swami is telling us about the importance of concentration, dharana, Swami says. And for that, Swami said the form is fundamental. We need to have a form which we like. We should like it so much that we will not forget it. Then at the end, Swami said, the name is also equally essential. And I think that's what we were discussing before we concluded the session last week. So we will start from where we left off. I will ask the sisters to go ahead. Sister, I think you are muted.
Sarah, remove defects in character, but you should avoid the difficult obstacles in the path of meditation. With anger, pride, conceit, the tendency to discover the faults of others, mischiefs, etc. These operate even subconsciously as the currents in the depths of the ocean. Spiritual aspirants must be vigilant not to lose their temper or even small things, for that will block their progress. They must cultivate love toward all and meekness. Then undesirable habits will fall away from them, since anger is the parent of all wrong behavior. Anger can turn any person into bad ways, any moment and in any form. So it should be sublimated first by systematic effort. Spiritual aspirants must welcome gladly the announcements of their defects by anyone. Indeed, they must be grateful to those who point them out. Aspirants must never entertain hatred against them, for that is as bad as hating the good. The good has to be loved and the bad discarded. Remember, the bad should not be hated. It has to be given up, avoided. Only people who can do this can achieve progress in meditation and spiritual wisdom.
Thank you, sister. I think Swami is, I think it's part of revision is to go back to whatever Swami said before, I guess. He's repeating that. Swami is talking about the qualities which should be given up for someone who aspires to do meditation. I think there's nothing much for me to add. I will just open it up for discussion. Anyone who would like to share any thoughts or ask any questions, please go ahead.
Hi, Ram. Maybe if someone can explain what the Swami mean in the second paragraph by meekness, because I guess sometimes depending on your role or position, you may not be able to be meek. For example, if you're parenting a child, you can't really be meek in that sense. So I guess in what sense should we cultivate meekness?
Okay, good, sister. Auntie, I don't know if Mani Auntie is there, I guess. She can tell us what exactly is the Telugu word, and then we can continue.
I'll read it out.
Yes, Auntie.
In spiritual aspirants, that's I think the next paragraph. సాధకుడు స్వల్ప విషయములందు కూడా త్వరగా కోపించకూడదు. దట్స్ వాట్ says. Yeah,
Most
it's not
temple,
good.
yes.
Yeah. అట్లుంటిన ధ్యానమందు ఎంత మాత్రము వృద్ధి కలగదు. అతడు సౌమ్యముతో కూడిన ప్రేమ భావము అలవరుచుకొనను. I think his meekness here, it's Swami is saying saumya bhava. Prema bhava and saumya bhava.
Yes, sir.
సౌమ్యముతో కూడిన ప్రేమ భావం అలపరుచుకోవాలను. He should cultivate that love towards all and meekness. It's not exactly meekness. It's a saumya bhava. You approach people with a
Pleasant demeanor. Pleasant demeanor.
presentable way. Yeah, that is it. I think Kalyani's question, meekness is not exactly the word here, which is in Telugu. If you're meek, some problems will also arise.
Sai Ram, this is Aku auntie. Can it be humbleness?
Yeah, that's good.
Humility, yes, correct.
Yeah.
You may call it humility.
Humility.
See, actually, the word saumyam is an opposite of the word ugram.
Yeah.
Ugram and saumyam. See,
Calmness.
something is.
Yeah.
Ugram means somebody who is very.
Passionate. Yeah.
You can say passionate, yes. Very rajasic, who is with a lot of. Like Lord Narasimha is called Ugramurti.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe opposite word is Shantam too.
Yes, Shantam and Saumyam are similar.
Yes.
Can you clarify the first paragraph, what Swami meant by the mischief, etc.? The mischief, what is it really Swami is?
The word which Swami has used is kapatam.
Oh, kapatam.
Kapata means.
Okay, kapatam.
Cunningness.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, not mischief. Okay, thanks.
Auntie, is it kapatam? I think it's.
Kritrima buddhi.
Oh, I see.
A conceit, a kind of conceit in nature. Kopamu
Auntie,
Yeah.
kopamu.
కోపము గర్వము మమకారము ఇతరుల తప్పులు కనిపెట్టవలననే ఆసక్తి. Is it that's one?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Kritrima buddhi. Mischief is here, kritrima.
Oh, does it say kritrima buddhi, Auntie?
Yeah, kritrima buddhi.
In the book it says kritrima buddhi, is it?
Yeah.
I see in the PDF it says kapatam.
Kapatam, kritrimam, same.
Okay. Kapatama modalagu vanniyu.
Kapatam makes sense. Yeah, mischief. Okay.
Kapatam.
Jnanamunaku atakkamulu.
That's it.
Obstacles.
Conceit way.
That means cunningness?
Cunning, yeah. You can call cunning.
One who is insincere, who is not straightforward. Something like that. Who's devious. I think devious may be a better. Auntie, what do you think?
Yeah, correct. Devious way. Dubious also.
Dubious, devious.
D-U-B-I-U-S. That may be dubious way.
Means we should not be plotting something. That's what Swami is saying.
Plotting against it.
Because then the mind is unnecessarily occupied.
Yeah.
In the last line of the second paragraph, Swami saying it should be sublimated first by systematic effort. Can you explain what Swami might mean by that?
Auntie?
Anji?
No, she's talking about, Kalyan is asking, maybe you can read. Anger can be can't turn one person into bad ways any moment and in any form. So it should be sublimated first by systematic effort.
Yeah. Let me read that.
I think you can read this from there,
Yeah.
Auntie.
అప్పుడు చెడు అలవాట్లు తప్పిపోవును. Bad habits will stop, will die away. చెడు అలవాట్లు, that's bad habits, అభ్యసించుటకు కోపమే ప్రథమ పీఠము. అది ఉండిన ఏ నిమిషమందైనా ఎట్టి దానైందైనా ఏ విధమైన చెడ్డలైనా చేయవచ్చును. కావున మొదట దానిని రూపమాపవలెను. రూపమాపవలెను may be the correct sublimated. Yeah, systematic effort. Sublimation is రూపమాపవలెను in Telugu.
Different form, change into different.
Change the different form, rupamapu.
And by systematic effort, that's I think the Kalyani is asking. I don't know whether sublimation or the systematic effort.
Yeah, kramena prayatninchavalenu. That is, gradually you have to put forth your effort. Systematic effort is gradually you have to put forth effort. To
Step by step.
Gradually.
Step by step or something like that.
Step by step. Oh, that's okay.
Sai Ram, in that second paragraph and the sentence just before the last sentence, Swami said, undesirable habits will fall away from them since anchor is the parent of all wrong behavior. And I thought myself, up until now, I thought the untruth, telling lies, is the parent of all wrong behaviors, because that's why all the 5 human values, truth is the base value or the foundational value. I thought even the anchor person, maybe just momentarily that person could be anchor, but later he could be calmed down and I thought telling lies is that would be creating all of the problems. One by one it would bring to hide the lies from someone. Then you have to do one by one everything. But here Swami said, since anchor is the parent of all wrong behaviors, up until my thinking or my opinion, I thought the truth is the base. That's why untruth or the telling lies or would be the base value. If it is not followed, then all the problem would start one by one.
I think it should be krodha in Sanskrit. And
Yeah.
Krodha. So krodha has brother explained sometimes back. Krodha, not merely.
Krodhat bhavati sammudaha. Bhagawan Krishna says, krodhat bhavati sammudaha. He loses all balance in his this thing. So he starts behaving in a wrong way. That is why Swami is here.
The anger plus hatred, correct?
Hatred doesn't, but in that paragraph where Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, last sentence he says, Krodhat bhavati sammudaha. Sammudat bhavati buddhinashaha.
Yeah,
because
the
anger leads to the imbalance of mind. He loses its sense of balance. So he can do anything. And partly, Sister Anand, this thing is also true. When you start saying lies, it will lead to all wrong behavior. But Swami here particularly is mentioning anger. Saira.
Yeah. So anger makes us lose the balance of mind. So when the mind balance is disturbed, then we can do anything that we want. So it leads to
wrong behavior.
Yeah, wrong behavior. Yeah.
Arun, what do you say?
No, I was just reading. Yes, the thing is, I think Sister Anandi was talking about telling lies. I think people tell lies out of fear. Something is going to happen. I think that's another quality. I think Swami has not addressed it yet. But here, I think Swami is more talking about rajas. The mind should not become passionate. I think that's what Swami is trying to drive home. Because especially in terms of meditation, Swami says that doesn't help. For example, if you tell lie and that goes away, then you will forget it. There's no negative residue left, I think. But in this case, anger stays on. It will trouble. You can't sleep, you can't get up, type of thing. I think that's why Swami may be giving a bit more importance to anger.
Brother,
problem for
if we understand the root cause of the anger, like via Sister Anandi was coming, the truth. If anybody doesn't speak the truth, then you will get angry. So anything else you will find it as a root cause for anger? Then if we identify clearly that, then we know what to avoid first, right?
Disappointment. Disappointment will lead to anger.
Yes.
You are expecting something that doesn't happen, that you get angry.
Okay. Disappointment, then lies will get to the anger.
Disappointment comes, it looks that when we have ego, and somebody cross it, somebody again says against, the ego would be the basic root cause for anger also.
Anger, yes.
Ego, expectation also, right?
Yeah,
expectation causes disappointment.
Yeah.
I also I remember that the way back I studied, or maybe I read or something. Anchor if love has many different phases or something, anchor also when you will get angry, if someone you don't love it, or if someone throw you some comments, when you walk on the streets, you wouldn't worry about maybe if a person I really love it, if that person even a tiny little comment throw on you, you will be really upset and angry. That's why maybe that's the way that it explained. Angry also, it's in the one way of expressing the love or something. It's in the opposite way, but when it has many different dimensions, angry also, it would be coming when you really love that person, or maybe that could be one dimension or one phase, without, if you don't have any attachment, or if you don't have any interest at all, even though that comment, it would be very, very severe, harsh comment, it wouldn't affect you at all. But if you have someone who really love it, or if you have something very very dear to your heart, then immediately it will affect, and you will be really upset and angry. That's why they say that angry also, if it is the expression of love in a different way. That's what I learned, or I read previously. That's why Swami also, maybe in the third paragraph, Swami also said that the good has to be loved and the bad discarded, but we shouldn't hate, those ones or something. When I read the third paragraph, in the Narmada read the third paragraph, I recollected that portion too.
Sairam, brother.
Okay. Brother, one second. I think Brother
Okay.
Yoga Kumaran had raised his hand, so we'll ask him
Okay,
to
thank
talk
you.
first.
Sai Ram, when
Yes.
we get anger, we lose our value point for the argument. To place the argument, we lose our valued argument about the our side also.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sai Ram.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, brother. Says Brother Dasan, you can go.
Okay. So, Sairam brother. So, anger, okay, we have to find out the root cause. It comes from the mind. So, mind, because of the desire and the ego, that's a root cause of the anger. In Swami's book, one of the book I read, I know one of the psychiatric doctor.
Sandways, yeah.
Yeah, and he one time they were in Swami's interview time. Swami said to the wife, "Oh, you have anger." Then the wife said, "No, Swami, I have small anger, small thing." Then Swami said, "Small seed become big tree." So the anger is the one root cause for the other all other 6 bad qualities. So we have to control the anger, then everything can be controlled. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, brother.
Sai Ram, this is
Yes.
Akwanti. Sometimes hereditary also is
Yeah.
a cause.
The vasanas, actually.
Yeah.
Vasanas, yeah. Brought from previous births, it
Yeah.
lies hidden in us. And when that proper time comes, it comes up. That's also one of the main reasons. Yeah. And Sister Anand, Sairam, Sister Anandi's point, we see used 2 words. Attachment also she used. So attachment definitely in the household life. When we have attachment towards certain people, and they behave differently, opposite to our expectation, then anger comes out. That is true. And also, Anand said love. It could be because in Sai Baba, I don't know, brother will explain better. Sai Baba also, pretends and scold people with angry face, and I don't know what is that. So he must have only love towards us. Otherwise, he will not scold us like that, no? So it could be true love also. That could be also the reason for anger. I don't know, brother explained that one. What is Swami's love and anger? What is that? No? But
Yeah.
attachment is correct. Attachment, when we have attachment to people, and if they behave differently, anger comes out.
Thank you, brother.
Mm.
Maybe I will just comment on a couple of things. I think I will start with this point, I think, which you talked about. Because in this world, many people confuse attachment and love. That's the fundamental problem. Sometimes we don't understand what's attachment. See, attachment means sometimes we can't let go. That's what we feel. But in Sanskrit, the word mamakaram comes. It belongs to me, type of thing. Okay, possessiveness. But usually, the possessiveness comes because we get some value out of that relationship. We think it's guaranteed. They will do something in return. So Swami says that is not love. Swami doesn't say, he says you cannot use the word prema or love for that relationship because there's an expectation. Love has to be selfless. So I think only when we have that expectation, anger comes. And I think Brother Dasan has actually rightly said about the ego and the desire. When the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells the mechanics of these 6 qualities. He says, Sangat Sanjayate, Kama Kamat Krodho Vichayate, like that. If you have Sangam, if you have connection with something, you will get desire. Once you have desire, when that is thwarted, you get anger. All of them, one by one it comes. So desire is the cause of anger generally. Desire, in some ways, it's an expectation that somebody should do something, somebody should not behave. Even somebody should not behave in a certain way, so type of desire, you see. I think then as I think Auntie said, when there's disappointment, Mani Auntie nicely said, When we are disappointed, then we get anger. And then I will come to this point which Brother Sivada said. So when Swami says kopam here, he is talking about the anger inside. So the thing is, when we generally get angry, our body will boil, our hands will shiver, the face will be heated, all that. That means the anger has taken hold in our mind, in our heart. But Swami says the anger should be just external. Just the way, in a drama or a cinema, an actor pretends that he's angry. That is the way we should use that. It should not go inside us. That anger should not go into our hearts, because then it becomes a problem. So what Swami, in my view, is talking about is the anger which goes inside. There are many people, even when the anger is burning inside, they will be smiling. And, people may think, this person is not angry. But that what is burning inside is, I think, Swami is talking about. And that's my understanding. So Swami, I think there are many situations where Swami will scold someone and he'll turn and smile and talk as if nothing has happened. And, it's also an opportunity. Once Swami was scolding someone, and there was a doctor who was sitting next to him, and he was wondering, why is Swami getting so warm? Swami said, check my pulse, check my pressure.
Yeah.
It was all normal.
80 and 120. Yeah.
Yes. So he said, when you, if at all you show anger, your body should be calm. You internally should not be affected. That was a demonstration by Swami. So I think ultimately each of us have to figure out whether we are angry. We cannot evaluate somebody else. I think that's fundamentally the problem.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, this is Saku auntie. That is what Baba does. He outwardly shows he's angry, but actually he wanted to correct the children. And also he will advise them in such a way they will never ever try to do it again. There are so many students who have confessed about these things, but they have gone through with Swami. Swami's anger is totally different from ours.
Yeah.
We can put it like Swami's anger is like a mother's anger to correct a child. Okay, that's the way I'm understanding Swami's anger. Thank you, Sairam.
It's an anger with understanding.
Yeah, that's better rather than saying mother's love, because mothers also act on attachment. Attachment, no?
If when you show anger with understanding and compassion, then it does not fall into this definition of skopam, is my understanding. And so I think we should evaluate ourselves. That's all I can say. So I think that answers even Kalyani's question. As mothers, when we have to, correct the children, what should we do?
Saira, only thing is Kalyani's original question, and it should be sublimated first by systematic effort. Systematic effort is gradually, though that is okay. Sublimated, so anger should be changed into different form. So I don't get a good example for that. Brother, can you think of that, how the anger can be changed in a beneficial way to us?
See, sublimated means you get it under control. So for example, Swami has given some, he will say, go for a walk, drink some cold water, go and have a shower. The thing is, you have to have some activity which will take, because anger is nothing but energy also, you see. So the thing is that once the energy is built up, you have to spend it in some activity, unless you cool it down, I think.
Hello?
Yes, Sai Ram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be that.
Okay.
So,
Come in.
Sairam, I have heard in the lesson plan I have seen, to control anger, they asked to chant Swami's name or something to control it. So that's one of the
Yeah,
things.
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
So,
So,
one minute. If you cool down our anger, go outside to look for the slipper. Slipper lost somewhere. We missed our slipper. And okay, at least we take a shower, go and open the tap. The shower, no water coming out. So we get more angry.
yeah.
This will pass in.
Yes, Sairam, brother. First of all, you have to ask yourself why you had to get anger. When you get anger to bring the system back, even 1 minute anger, I read somewhere, I take 8 hours. So anger is going to spoil everything, even the married life, even the kids' relationship, everything. So even the office, everywhere. So why you have to understand the cause of the anger. Whatever we study, we are not comparing outside of people, but we learn so many things. Even if you get anger, you cannot meditate, you cannot go and sit anywhere, you cannot say nothing. You can only take a shower. So that is not going to help us. So whatever we studied, we had to practice with the love. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, brother.
Sairam, plus I used to have this in my mind and always used to speak about this, that the food, the hot food, and the type of food, rajasic foods, these also may give easy access to anger. So that is the reason that sannyasis, they don't eat too much hot, salt, anything. One day Bhagawan said, any 6 tastes, there are 6 tastes, no? That's sour, sweet, salty. So
Shadrasam. Shadrasam it's called. Shadrasam.
Sadrasam. So these should be controlled in the food. Moderate. It should be very moderate. And that way we will have a calm mind, and it will help for meditation. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Brother, I would like to add 2 more things here. To control anger, you always have to think there is another side. One, the other one is give a benefit of doubt that you don't know something what is inside. So these 2 things also will allow you to control. Thank you.
What are the things, sister? I don't understand.
A benefit of doubt, like you don't know what is exactly happened, kind of, you don't know.
Yeah.
So always you have to think there is another side which you don't know. So these 2 things allow you to control.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sairam, in the 3rd paragraph, there's a one little sentence about the good has to be loved and the bad discarded. This is in the same person, whatever the good things has to be loved and the bad to be discarded, or maybe this means that there may be good people have to be loved and the bad people should be discarded. What is the true meaning of this one? The good has to be loved and the bad discarded. And in the previous sentence, Swami says that
we can read the the line above to that also. No, the aspirants must never entertain hatred against them when they point out their mistake. Okay, and them, for that is as bad as hating the good.
So I understand that sentence. If you hate someone, that would be, even the bad people, if you hate, that would be equivalent to you hate the good people. Swami telling that you shouldn't hate anybody. That is the meaning of that sentence. Then this sentence is coming in. The good has to be loved and the bad discarded. That is the one for the person Swami is giving the advice. Or if I am the person, or maybe in someone else, they can have both, the good things and the bad things, then whatever the good side we have to love and the bad side we have to forget about that, or what is that?
I took it as Saramanti. I took it as good in us, whatever the habit or whatever that the person pointed out. So the good in us, we should love it, and the bad in us, we should discard it. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Of a person is the habit, or our habit, or what we possess. That's how I thought.
Maybe that is
Give up the bad.
Yeah, that is really for myself. If I have the both side, because otherwise Swami wouldn't use the word discarded. You know, the discarding that can only be done by me, not by the other person. That's why I agree with that. Yeah, that's
The first line is telling not to hate the people who are pointing out your bad habits. The bottom second part is us dealing with our habits. That's how I see it.
So we can take it like this too. Suppose if you're, for an example, if you're going to take me, if sometimes you find good qualities on me, something, if you don't like some qualities, so take the good part. If you take a black dot, so there is a black dot, but think about the good part. Don't think about the black dot over there. Don't focus on that one. That is my understanding too.
Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you. Anyone else has something to say? I think we have exhaustively discussed all aspects of it.
We know it actually,
yeah. Swami, basically, I think about the bad, I thought I would just, because there are two instructions Swami also says, Bhaja sadhu samagama, teja durjana samsarga. If they're a bad company, you just give it up, leave it. You don't have to go and find what bad things they are doing, and then then it's unnecessarily brings out the bad in us also. So that's, I think, that one way to remove the bad is not to not even think about others' bad things, I guess. So I think we can move on if it's okay, if everyone is fine.
Bad shouldn't be hated.
That's
a good one.
Yeah. Because always we are supposed to think of the positive side. So when we are concentrating on the positive side, the bad side will automatically drop. So we need not take much care of that part. Only increase the positive side. That's the thing. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you.
Sarah, conceit, jealousy, the passionate rajasic exhibition of one's superiority, anger, the craving to inform oneself of the weakness of others and their failings, trickery, all these are obstacles in the path of meditation. Even if these are not patently exhibited, the inner impulses urging one along these wrong directions are latent in the mind. Just as a room kept closed for a long time is found dust-ridden and foul-smelling, is opened, cleaned, and made habitable by elaborate sweeping and dusting, so the mind has to be cleaned by meditation. Spiritual aspirants must, by inward observation, examine the mind and its content and condition. By proper disciplinary habits, the accumulated dirt should be removed little by little, systematically. Conceit, for example, is deep-rooted and unyielding. In the passionate, rajasic mind, it puts forth many branches in all directions and spreads everywhere. It might appear to be dry and dead for some time, but it will sprout again easily. As soon as a chance arises for its exhibition, it will raise its hood. So spiritual aspirants have to be ever vigilant. With regard to anger, spiritual aspirants have to be vigilant even about the most minor matters that might provoke them, because if they are careless, they cannot progress in the least. Such people must cultivate humble, loving spirit. Then a bad traits then the bad traits will disappear. Some aspirants become very angry when someone discovers and announces to them that the bad traits they possess. This makes matters worse.
So I think there's nothing for me to comment. I think Swami is saying in very simple language what the issues are. So I will just open it up for discussion.
So Sairam, brother, I like the second, the paragraph, the purpose of the meditation, just cleaning the mind, so calm the mind. So once you're successful on that one, you can, your meditation goal going to be 100% successful. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much. I think Auntie should read Telugu because it's Telugu. Swami is nicely saying, Ahamuto Kodina Vyakti. Auntie, please.
Which one?
I think that's a paragraph starting, Auntie. Ahamuto Kodina Vyakti Itarurai Adhikaram.
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. In Telugu, the chapters are different. It's 14 chapters here now.
Yes.
It starts.
Yes.
Yeah. కొన్ని మాసములు మూసిపెట్టి, that is the first, I think. గర్వము, అహము, తన గొప్పతనమందలి రాజస స్వభావము, కోపము, ఇతరులతో లేనిపోని మంచి చెడ్డలు తెలుసుకొనవలన ఆసక్తి, కపటము, ఇవి అన్నీ ధ్యానమునకు ఆటంకములు. ఈ మార్గము యొక్క సూక్ష్మ వాసనలు మనస్సునందు దాగి ఉండును. ఒక గదిని కొన్ని మాసములు మూసిపెట్టి తరువాత తెరచిన ఎంత మలినము చేరి ఉండనో, అట్టి గదిని శుభ్రము చేసిన మలినమంతయు పోయి ఎట్లు శుభ్రమగునో ఆ ప్రకారమే మనస్సునందలి మాలిన్యములను ధ్యాన బలము వల్ల పూర్తిగా చేయను. దెన్ కమ్స్ దిస్, సాధకులు లోచూపు నిలిపి వారి మనస్సులను పరీక్షించుకొనవలెను.
They should be vigilant. Yeah, that's
vigilant. సరి అయిన పద్ధతులు ఉపయోగించి అందుండు మాలిన్యములను క్రమక్రమేణ ఒకదానికి వెనుకనొకటి తీసివేయవలను. గర్వము చిరకాల స్థాయియే విడువనిదిగా ఉండును. రజో మనస్సునందు అది అనేక విధములైన ఉపశాఖలు కలిగి అన్ని వైపులా వ్యాపించును. అట్టి ఉద్రేకము ఎప్పుడో ఒకప్పుడు తాత్కాలికంగా తగ్గినను తిరిగి కనిపించునే ఉండును. అవసరము వచ్చినందతే గర్వము బయట పెట్టి దాని ఆధిక్యము చూపుచునే ఉండును. But it will sprout again. Yeah. Then స్వల్ప విషయమునకు కూడా త్వరగా కోపము కొనుచుండును. అట్లుండిన ధ్యానమున అంతదెంత మాత్రమే వృద్ధి పొందలేదు. అట్టివాడు సౌమ్యమైన ప్రేమ భావంతో అలవర్చుకొనవలెను. అప్పుడు
So Auntie, that's not read yet in English. But
yeah, that's it, I think.
Thank you.
What exactly you wanted me to say that? Where, did I read it? Whatever you wanted?
Yes, no, I just wanted you to, because they have said Ahamuto Kodina Vyakti Itarulapai, something like that is there, no? Adhikaram, that's not that, is
Adhikaram చేస్తున్నా. Yeah.
చేయుటకు కోరుచుండును.
అట్లుంటే ఆ ధ్యానం అంతే.
I think it's not, there are slight differences between the
difference between the, yeah, here I don't, ahamu kaligina. I didn't find that sentence.
Okay, fine, Auntie. I think they've changed some. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Sairam, the first sentence, the second sentence, self of weakness of others and they are failing. Okay, they are failing and trickery. The trickery part is what is that mean?
Again,
Oh. Kapatamu. Trickery is again kapatam.
Okay.
Tricking.
Thank you.
deviousness.
Yeah.
See, we should not think about others too much. That's what Swami says.
Yeah.
We should not meditate on other people.
Yes.
Here one word asakti Swami uses. ఇతరులను లేనిపోని మంచి చెడ్డలు తెలుసుకునవలెను ఆసక్తి. You know, the eagerness to know about others' weaknesses, and we discuss others' problems, and we show a lot of enthusiasm in discussing about others. That is called asakti. Swami uses the word asakti. I came across another word. There is a anasakti, asakti are opposites. That's fine. But asakti is a word, that shows sakti means to cling on to something. And when you have that clinging on, that's what you were telling about attachment. That's called sakti. And when you show so much of possessive nature, then it becomes a problem for yourself, for our own self, and for others also. You should not possess. The possessive love is not good. And I came across this word in the 20 qualifications one should have to realize the self.
The Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, 20 enumerates. So Krishna enumerates. In that, asakti is also given. So we should not make mistake in asakti and asakti. These two words are different, have different meaning. We use word asakti very, very, very often.
What is the English word for asakti here in this paragraph?
Enthusiasm. But Swami is hearing a craving, he is saying. The craving to inform oneself of the weakness of others. He says craving. Asakti is translated as craving.
Okay.
Or enthusiasm also is okay, and eagerness also is okay.
Hi, Ramanti, can you just explain again that? So there's 3 words: asakti, asakti,
Anasakti. Anasakti.
What are the meanings again?
Asakti is eagerness, that's craving to find out anything, even not only to find mistakes in others. Sometimes, we show enthusiasm, things, good things also.
Inquisitiveness.
Anasakti is not interested, disinterestedness in it. Asakti is not to cling on to the relationship or any possessions. That is called asakti. But if it is not there, if there's an absence of that clinging on, that's called asakti.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because while I made a mistake, and then I realized that it's not it. That's why I was sharing it with you. Thank you.
Sai Ram, I want to know what is trickery. Whose trickery is that?
Kapatamu, auntie. Kapatam.
Kapatam. Who's kapatam? The others. The one who finds fault on others.
All about us, I think, auntie. It's all about us.
Us, yeah. Our trickery.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when I read the second paragraph and discuss, so that the ultimate purpose of the meditation is to cleanse the mind. Maybe just once we clean the mind, then everything it would automatically come into. So the purpose of the meditation is just to cleanse the mind. That is the main purpose of the meditation, because we have so much dirt in our mind for maybe from the past births and this birth, and all those dirt maybe hides the vision of the vision of mind to the God. That's why maybe once we clean the dirt through the meditation, then everything we can straight into, we can see the God or Lord or whatever the Brahma or Parabrahma, or so that the purpose of the meditation is just to cleanse the mind. That's all. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good point you are making. A very deep aspect actually. In the Bhagavad Gita also, I think the chapter 4, I think. The first Bhagavan and the Krishna Bhagavan is saying that meditation is for cleaning the mind, cleanse the impurity. And then he proceeds to say that then meditation on the Atma, like that. I remember, but the brother and sister, they will remember it. So the few slokas on chapter 4, I remember. Chapter 4 or 6, I'm not sure. But it starts with the first, the purification of the mind is the purpose of meditation, Bhavan is saying. Then in the following slokas, saying contemplation on Atma. So as Sister Anandi pointed out, even Baba has said this about, maybe in the Gita Vahini or somewhere else, Bhavan said that the very powerful cleansing sadhana, cleansing of impurities is by meditation. Baba said that one. So, so the meditation is mainly, Sister Anandi nicely put it, but when the dirts are removed, then what is there? What is there in the base is that our true self. Yeah, brother, sister, can you please elaborate on that?
Brother,
yeah.
Brother, one more thing. Why the Rajastic is put on bracket to show some I'm trying to understand that why. It's an active Rajastic, because that is one of the gunas. I know why that is described as Rajastic.
Passionate is described as Rajastic,
Yeah.
right?
As a brother started, no, the whole purpose is controlling the passionate mind. The passionate is always rajasic, always egoistic, authority type. So that should be bring down to the sattvic nature before meditation can start now. So I don't understand what really you are talking about. The brother can please.
No, the thing is, sister, see, they have translated Rajasic as passionate. Okay, and then they know that it's not a good translation. They have put it within brackets.
Yeah.
Because Rajasic, there's for the word Rajas, there's no real English translation.
Oh.
Okay. So the word passionate they have used as the most, the best equivalent in English. But Rajas means any activity, when you are not just overactivity, I would say.
Overactivity.
Overactivity is Rajas.
Yeah.
Normal activity is Sattvic.
Yeah.
For example, if you're walking, driving or something, normal driving is Sattvic driving. But if you speed, then that is Rajas. It has heated up. A heated up activity is Rajas. So they are using the word passionate.
Yeah, actually, passionate has several meanings. That's what I understand.
More of an aggressive, I guess, right?
Aggressive, yeah, aggressive, yeah. That's also a good word, yeah.
Correct.
I think aggressive and ugram. I was using the word ugram. Maybe it came from aggressive.
Yeah.
Why then the tamas was not used?
Oh,
that's too bad. Tamas is too bad. We cannot do nothing.
Because when we go to the Swami room, say, what disturbs us is mostly the Rajasic attitude of our mind. Thinking of that person and this person, that person did harm to us, this person is like that, this person should be bad. So the Rajasic part. Tamasic part also, tamasic nature must be actually roused up. Actually, the sleeping type, and not enthusiastic, that also should be brought to the passionate, up to the up to the sattvic nature. That is also true. But the thoughts are running riot because of this aggressive mind. So that is moral.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yes, Brother Dasan, you can go.
Yeah. Suppose okay, if you look at the meditation, okay, for an example, we almost come to the end. We wanted to do the meditation in the altar room or somewhere. We're going to sit down and we're going to take the japamala and we're going to do the japam. And plus we're going to focus the whatever the deity you like. So when you get the form, what the mind is the one is disturbing us, we cannot concentrate the particular form. So we started to do the japam, saying that one name. So during that time, that will help us to do the viveka and vairagya. So that will overcome for that one. Then you will see the form. So that that namasvarana is very helpful for to control the mind and viveka and vairagya. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts?
Sai Ram, this is Akwanti. I can remember we studied that Sattvic is the best. Next one is Rajasic. And the third one is Tamasic. Right?
Yes.
The last one is Tamasic. Out of the three gunas.
Usually they say Sattva Rajas Tamas. Usually we call it Sattva Rajas Tamas. That is the pattern of putting in the speeches or writing. Sattva Rajas Tamas. But whatever it is, the tamasic means the lethargy, the laziness, the sleeping aspect, the lying on the bed, even not reading a book or even not talking to people around. You just like a, your mind is not active actually. That is also very bad. That should be changed into sattva actually. But it cannot be changed into sattva immediately. That's what it recommended, that the tamasic nature should be transformed first to the rajasic nature. Go out of the house, join in the center, become a member, like that, So that way, when you increase that external activity, this tamasic nature is under control. Then from that rajasic nature, we have to come down to sattvic. Only in the sattvic nature, the meditation will take place.
Yes.
The jealous, then if they categorize the passionate as rajasic, then the jealousy part, don't you think as a tamasic quality then?
No.
No?
No.
No.
I said no.
Yeah.
Because Bhagavan says this tamasic path is even worse than all three.
That's good. You're correct. Yeah. Because it has to be first changed into, you're correct.
Tamasic quality, I know it's better than the rajasic, but I thought the jealousy comes under the tamasic.
Maybe, but
no, okay.
Maybe, but usually.
So it's exactly how we then tamasic, only the laziness.
Yeah.
I think those ones are better than jealousy. I think the person is lazy, not doing anything. That's okay.
But you can never improve in spiritually. That's what one day I told this example in this satsang, in the circles. Swami Vivekananda was talking to a group of people. And in the group, there was one person a little far away from the group, somewhat distant. But he was listening. Every day comes in the lecture and others ask questions and everything, and that person never asks questions. And one day when Swami Vivekananda was interacting, casually, And then one of the active participants said, Swami, he is a very pious person, very humble and simple person. But Swami, yogi, he would have noted that, he said, hello, did you ever tell a lie in your life? He said, no. Does the cow tell lie? Madu poi solluda. Because he put the question because the cow doesn't tell lie. So you also don't tell lie. So are you a cow? So you should raise up from this tamasic nature into active nature. Then only spiritual progress is possible. So that is the teaching, no? So we cannot say because if the person is lethargy, sleeping and everything. No, that's very, very bad actually. Thank you,
Sai
sir.
Ram, what about Aruna's question?
Yeah.
About jealousiness.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be put under Rajasic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I say.
Tamas.
think-
Very bad point.
I also think the jealousy, it comes under Rajasic because as soon as you get jealousy, you wouldn't simply stay in a place. You would be calling that person, this person,
Yeah.
talking about this, and you wouldn't be simply sitting on your own. You would look at all avenues how to create the problem.
Yeah.
To be aggressive.
Very aggressive. You will invent several ways to how to create the problem and everything. That's why jealousy comes. Certainly it comes under the Rajasic mind. As long as it hits you, you wouldn't be tamasic. You would be really, really very aggressive and activeness in that particular thing.
But Anandi, we are saying tamasic is the lowest and the rajasic, right? So I am trying to say the lowest part, everybody saying the laziness, that when you compare to that, the jealousy, I think jealousy has to go there and the laziness has to come.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram, this is Akwandi. I want to thank Anandi for dissecting piece by piece and explaining. And Aruna, you cannot justify by putting jealousiness into tamasic. Sai Ram, this is Akwandi.
Thank you.
Sai Ram, anyone else would like to comment? I think many people are tamasic. No one is talking. If you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
No, so see, but
maybe after a heavy lunch on Sunday, my brother.
It's tough. It's very difficult. Tamas is too much. See, the thing, I think maybe I will just say something. I think Kalyani, you wanted to say something or ask
I
something?
had a new question, so maybe you can.
Okay, maybe I will just say something. See, I think, Swami says there are two types of pests which attack a tree. One Swami says Ver Purugu, one is Samada Purugu. He says a plant is affected by two types of pests. One he says it attacks the root.
Yeah.
The other one attacks the leaves.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
What attacks the root is jealousy. What attacks the leaves is krodha, Swami says. Okay. So what happens is, I think Sister Aruna is okay in the sense, even though someone is fully tamasic, some of these negative qualities are also lying dormant. I think Swami has already told, it might appear to be dry and dead for some time, but it will sprout again. So when it is appearing very dry, the person is tamasic. Tamasic also means that the person lacks any good quality, as Brother Sivada said. Sometimes tamas and sattva look very alike.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Because people can confuse tamasic also as sattvic, which is what the example he gave. Basically, inertia. It's not active, but that doesn't mean those qualities are there in a seed form in a tamasic person. So the thing is, unless a person is completely sattvic, the bad qualities are also there in the tamasic person. But the reality is, it is not apparent. It is not. It is not. Jealousy also. Many people are jealous. They may not be calling this and creating trouble. That is when tamas and rajas come together. Then all this problem comes. It's my understanding, because a person who is rajasic is fed by the tamasic nature in that person. But activity can also be positive. Positive in the sense, when you want to do something good, also you will be active, very, very active. Vigorousness. See, there's a difference between vigorousness and aggressiveness. To be vigorous, I would say, is positive side of rajas. Aggressive is negative side of rajas. That is my understanding. I think Mani Aunty wanted to say something.
Arun, that Purugu, you said, that white ants, white ants attack the roots. Okay. Whereas that leaf eater, that before it becomes a butterfly, what is it?
What Purugu is it?
That insect which becomes butterfly later on. What is it called?
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar. Yeah, caterpillar. Caterpillar is the one which eats the leaves. White ants are the purugu that eats the roots. Yeah, that is too. Swami is saying those two types of pests are there. Saira.
Brother said the caterpillar is this anger, krodha, his brother said.
Yes, because it is externally seen. See, when someone is angry and krodha, you can see the person is angry and all that. Jealous people, you can never make out, because somewhere deep within, it may come out as krodha, but sometimes it won't even come out as krodha. It'll come out as, everything is fine, but you don't know what is happening. Then kapatam comes, deviousness, dubiousness come into play. I think Swami is talking about that's why that kapatam. Sometimes many different people approach different tactics they use. Some people use anger as a tactic. Some people will use deviousness, trickery as a tactic. And jealousy can work both ways.
So, Sai,
okay, Savani,
you
go
ahead,
ahead.
Dasan. Okay. So now, sorry, this jealousiness is under tamasic, right?
Of course, they are tamasic qualities which manifest in the rajas when you're rajas.
When you're active, okay. Thank you, Zaira.
So, Saram brother, you said the anger, you can see on the people's face, but some people you cannot see the anger in the face. In the animals, you can see 100%. If you take the tiger, you can see the anger in the eye. If you're in the office, some people have anger. They talk nicely and everything. Only the human being, even though if they get anger, you cannot identify. Thank you, Saram.
Somewhat similar line in this passage, I remember. In this passage, there's a line somewhat similar to Dasan is saying. That, I don't know, the previous passage or this passage, that is hidden somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
I think Kalyani wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
Go to Kalyani.
Kalyani, your question, brother, asking.
So I guess my question was about the being vigilant. Swami was saying that it may seem that the negative qualities like conceit or anger are dry and dead for some time, but then with some rain, it will sprout again easily. And I guess I've seen this in my own experience. Like sometimes I think, oh, I've conquered this bad quality, but then I'll be put in a new situation or some new thing will happen in my life where all of a sudden it sprouts again and you can see it so clearly and you obviously didn't conquer it. So similar, I guess, I feel like I'm on the verge of that. Like for this 1 year, we've been really isolated with COVID and with things starting to open back up, like you're suddenly more exposed to the world again. So I was just wondering, what are ways that we can stay vigilant? And like how do you stay vigilant?
Okay, so anyone would like to comment? How do we remain vigilant?
Sairam, in this exact situation, what I feel is that the activity or serve activity and the external activity is recommended by Baba and Gita, and Gita is mainly talking about that now. So, because through interaction only, that this is this would be brought out and then killed, so you cannot have it in the mind and killed it. So it has come out. That is what they ask us to go in the society. So through the interest society, jealousy can come. So then and there, I must say, oh, see, jealousy is coming into me. So anger is coming to me. If we are at home, we can as Kalyani said, we think we are good people. So serve activity, the external, that the Sai Center. Sai Center, you see, these are exposed to the, so that our inner feelings can come out, then die out. So that's what in the meditation, Bhavan is saying, if the bad thought comes, don't get too much disturbed, because that is the vasanas inside. It has to come and go. Just come out to the surface and vanish. But Kalyan's question being, how can we be vigilant? No, that's only self-analysis and self-inquiry and determination to progress, and all that. We have to keep in our mind. I have to be pure and like that. No, that is the vigilant we can have it, but that external become extrovert is important before we go to introvert. That's what I could say. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else would like to comment? Okay, maybe I will. Okay, please go ahead.
Sairam, maybe that I understand Kalyani's question that maybe up until now, for example, during the pandemic times, we have been very disciplined and maybe more spiritual and everything. Once the pandemic situation is lifted and all other events, maybe external events started, our focus, previously we thought we are very, maybe the last 1 year, we all would have thought we are very spiritual, we are really very vigorously, we are in the spiritual path and everything. Suddenly when the situation lifted, and even our mind, it says, okay, for the last 1 year, I have regularly attended. I learned something. Now I need a break, and I should. It should be balanced, and I should go even for the other things. And the brother Sivadas already in the explained the part of that one. Maybe the self-analysis or introspection. What is important to me, whether I also thought otherwise maybe once a month, regularly I would go to the mall, but last maybe the 12 months, I didn't even go to the mall, or I didn't even buy new clothes or anything, Now I am thinking that otherwise, every month, it's not necessary. I would tend to go to mall, to see the things or in the other things. Maybe now I also think maybe that's even going regularly once a month to the mall is important, or whether should it really necessary to me, that sort of they think, maybe that is the only maybe introspection or self-analysis, it would make us to be vigilant. Otherwise, no one else can bring that sort of vigilantness to us, the only us, the maybe little kid parent can control, but the grown-up kids, just like us, who will be controlling? Only us. No one can control. And only one time, Mani auntie explained that secret pleasure. We will be hiding and eating the chocolate. And those things only we are the one we should control. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam. Anyone else?
Sairam, this is Akwandi. I'm sorry today. I'm very talkative. I think Anand there's a solution. If I don't know, Anna and I don't know, and Sivadas, if they can start another study circle, you will not be going to the mall. So that you can prevent it if you can ask them, and we can, but can be asked completely surrender to them and ask them for another class.
I think I will address Sister Kalyani's question. Sister Kalyani, I think because in meditation, we one thing which we do is to observe the mind. Because we focus the mind on Swami, and if that goes away, then again we bring it back. So through that process, we develop an ability to observe our mind. So I think that observing the mind, which I think Swami has told earlier also, the third line, he's talking about inward observation. That means you keep on watching. It's just like, you have your child. If the child shouldn't get into a problem, wherever you go, you'll be watching. The child may run here, then you will have to brag. So at all points in time, you are vigilant. Basically, you are observing the child. So the mind is also like a child. It's a truant child. It runs here, there, everywhere. And it lands into problem, and it lands us also into problem. So just the way you would watch a child, we should watch our mind. That is vigilance, knowing that it can always get into problem. And I think once we know that, and once we practice it, I think that's all Swami is telling, is my understanding. So that is what vigilance is.
Brother, I like the two words there Swami has given, contents and condition. What you have it in your mind, that is important. That two things will tell you how to be vigilant. So if you don't want it, keep it out. Contents, remove it. And condition, keep it the good thing with a good condition. So that will keep the vigilant part. Thanks.
Thank you. Sister Brother Dasan.
Sorry, brother. So, my understanding vigilance. So you suppose you have a habit. So before you eating, you offer to God. Whenever you try to enjoy or anything, any object or food or anything, you offer to God. Then eventually, the discrimination will improve on yourself, whether right or wrong. So in that way, you will control your mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brother, you can summarize, and time is also up for you.
Is it 4:17? Okay. I think we have discussed, I think we can practice observing our mind, I guess. Swami is asking us to be vigilant. So I think there's nothing more for me to add. I think everyone has spoken. Okay. That we had to keep on watching our mind, observe, so that it doesn't fall into Rajasic mode and run everywhere. So Swami wants us to keep a watch. There's nothing more to add from my side. So we'll close the study circle today with Samastaloka, and we'll meet next week. Saira. Oh. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram.
Sai
Sai
Ram.
Ram. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Uncle. So next week, Saturday, there's no studies.
No study circle. Next studies.
Only Sundays.
It's only Sundays for now.
Thank you, Sai Ram.
Oh, thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Ram.